can get.
Back here, first things first, joined by head coach Eric Mangini, former head coach. You can always be a head coach.
Good to see you, Coach. How are you?
Nice to see you.
It's good to be here.
Got a lot to talk about today.
We do.
Start with the New England Patriots. They travel to Miami to take on a JV team known as the Dolphins. Antonio Brown making his Patriots debut. Didn't take long to start clicking with Tom Brady. AB finished with a team-high 4 catches, a team-high 56 yards, and a team-friendly touchdown. Patriots embarrassing the Dolphins 43-0 to improve to 2-0. Here's Josh Gordon on his newest teammate, AB.
He's got a great football mind, football IQ. Guys that are football smart, just pick it up. You know, some faster than others. He's one of those guys that's gifted in that area. He can come in here and was able to adapt on the fly, and he's still learning, as we all are. But, you know, it just goes to show how much he really wants to be a part of this offense, how much he really wants to be here and contribute, and how fast he did it. It was great to see him make that progress.
Coach, you knew Antonio Brown wasn't going to get the full load in that offense week 1, but what were your first impressions of what you saw yesterday?
Well, they gave him a nice little package that was very easy to execute.
Yep.
Ran a speed out against off coverage. He ran a hitch against off coverage. He ran an inside fade against press man. They're all reasonable routes.
Yep.
And they're all routes that he's going to win on a consistent basis. The inside fade, I know there's some discussion as to whether it's pass interference or not, but those types of plays that he can make in press coverage, it dramatically changes this offense. If Josh Gordon and Antonio Brown can stay with the Patriots and part of this offense, they're going to be really, really difficult to beat by anybody, because now you put Edelman inside, you've got the backs coming out of the backfield.
Now you're sounding like me, Coach. I told Nick they can wrap up the AFC. They can forget that. They're going to be 14-2 at worst, Coach.
They have not had firepower like that with Josh Gordon and Antonio Brown on the outside. I can't think of a time where they've had talent like that available on the perimeter. And then all the things that they can do inside with the backs and Edelman, where do you want to push the coverage? Who do you want to take away? And it's really going to be a function of, can this last? Can Josh stay a part of the program and stay consistent and overcome his challenges? And where does Antonio, where does this saga play out? But the fact that they were able to get him in, get him involved, give him some production.
Keep him out of the headlines.
Well, that's probably the least surprising part of it. You go to New England, you're out of the headlines. Like, you get that there's nothing beneficial about bringing extra attention and distractions and all the other stuff.
Up to and including breaking the league rules. Because he was supposed to be available after the game and wasn't, but they've decided,
They got a little rotation now. They're going to do Josh Gordon, throw him out there at you. Antonio's off. Then the next week they're going to, Josh will be off, and then Antonio was
right. Antonio has not spoken at all since he's been with the team, but as an added bonus.
In the grand scheme of things, though, not doing that interview versus anything that could have come from doing the interview, it was
it's a calculated decision that they say whatever the fine is, we'll take it. It's worth it. Listen, as an added bonus, the last time the Patriots allowed a touchdown was in the AFC Championship game, so that helps too. They've outscored their opponents from the Super Bowl, first 2 weeks of the year, 89-6. This year, it's 76-3. So the defense is playing as well as it ever has under Coach Belichick from when you were there to now. And the offense, your point on the firepower, is elite. I want to set Josh Gordon aside for a moment on Antonio, because you and I texted very briefly right when it happened, because when Antonio was sabotaging his way out of Oakland, everyone was down on him, down on you guys had a great line about you win with character, not characters. And he goes to New England. I'm curious if you think it will last, if you think he will do what he needs to do to be on this team at the end of the year, and they have that firepower that you're talking about.
Everybody who walks through that door makes a decision. There's no trickery. You're not dressing the situation up. You make a decision. Do you want to be part of this program? And if you want to be part of this program, you need to act a certain way, and you need to commit to the things that they do. And then the locker room is built with guys that have a long history in the program, and you've got the greatest player that's ever played, who is coachable, who is an extreme supporter of what's being done.
Not complaining.
Not complaining.
When they go out in the cold, Tom Brady's not complaining. When it's talking about money around the locker room, Tom Brady's not complaining. When the team runs, New England runs more than anyone in the NFL. They're the best conditioned team. They run in the offseason, they run in training camp, and they run during the season. And those are, Coach is right. Every single day you have to sign up for, this is how we're going to do things. They got the shortest lunch break of any team, and they work harder. It is football from the time you step in until the time you go home. Now, can he be consistent? Because New England will be consistent. If he continues to learn, if he continues to do all the right things, they will get him in the offense, and he will look great. He'll have great support because the one thing about New England is their offensive line. And having the wide receivers with Josh and having AB, it's going to help cover up for the weakness that they have with that unit, with the number of injuries that they suffered. But this will work. AB, last week, decided to do things the right way. This week, he's going to have the same opportunity. No one's going to be patting him on the back. Hey, good game, buddy. Oh, you know something this week? Take a couple sessions off. No, he's going to have to do the same thing over and over and over again. And that is really the New England way, the consistency from a day-to-day basis, Coach.
And you also get the all-hands-on-deck approach. He shows up, and Tom Brady's tutoring. Tom Brady's helping him. Julian Edelman's helping him. Everybody's trying to make him successful. And you feel that when you're there. The goal is just to win. And if I need to help you, if I need to spend extra time with you, then I'm happy to do that because I want you to be productive. I want you to be part of this. You hear so much about AB's work ethic. Let's see how good his work ethic is, because there's a bunch of dudes in that locker room with tremendous work ethic.
It's different when you're working on your own. You got a trainer that you've hired and everything, and you're working with him, compared to someone telling you, this is your schedule, this is your life, this is what we're going to do. It's a different mentality.
And there's a mentality with the players that I'm sure has carried over that was there, you know, once we started establishing the culture of, hey, I got here at 5:30 this morning and lifted and hydrated. What time did you get here? I studied this. What did you do? So
it's
there's
peer pressure in a good form.
It's a positive peer pressure, and there isn't an acceptance of you taking away from the group goal.
That despite the fact that Antonio Brown is used to being the star on a team, and we know there are no stars really when it comes to the Patriots. But yesterday, Tom Brady spread the ball around. No one had more than 60 yards. Is he going to be okay moving through the season when he's not going to have all the receptions and all the yardage that he's used to and that he wants?
Well, we've never seen him in that environment since he's been a star. He was in that environment his first year and a half in Pittsburgh, and really since then, he's been a guy who he had that really bizarre NFL record streak of 5 catches, 50 yards for over, like, I think it was 3 seasons consecutively. It meant a lot to him. The Steelers famously one game, almost risked a win or to keep that streak alive. Antonio's going to have to be a drastically different person in a million different ways for this to work. Maybe he can do it. I'm still skeptical that he all of a sudden is going to go through a transformation by walking through that door.
Yep, I saw it with Randy Moss. I told you guys he's going to do it. They're going to be okay. And the reason why also Tom Brady's buying into anyone Bill signs, but he's a combination of his 2 favorite receivers outside of Gronk. He loved Gronk. We know he liked throwing the Gronk, especially down the middle and down the seams. But Deion Branch, let's not forget him. Remember how much Tom Brady liked him? That's how AB is in and out of his break. So he simulates him, and as far as the deep threat and the threat on the defense, Randy Moss. So he's a combination in New England of Deion Branch and the Randy Moss, 2 of the best receivers Tom's ever had.
Well, I remember when Corey Dillon came in, and there's so much talk about Corey Dillon prior to him getting there, and he was incredible. And I was talking to Corey on the way out to practice one day about the expectation versus the reality, and he talked about how refreshing it was to not have to be the star, to not have to carry the load, to be able to focus on football. So there is something liberating about that, and guys embrace it.
I disagree with you as far as AB not being a star. Oh, he will be a star. He will get single coverage. They will utilize his skill against the defense. We will see a version of AB and be like, yeah, that's a Pro Bowl player. He'll have 90 catches. He'll have 1,200 yards. And he'll have 10 touchdowns.
And it's going to be, it's Bill, when he looks at players like that, after you have to deal with trying to stop someone that special for so long, to get an opportunity to get him in your building, it's incredible.
Don't forget, they have that receiving core now. and a run game, which we haven't even talked about yet. What are they going to be? Best we're going to the Super Bowl already?
14-2,
easily.
which I agree with, actually.
Coming up, will Drew Brees' injury derail the Saints' season? Next up.
Oh, they're going to be the 1 seed.
I was going to be sarcastic and say, well, you
I
agree
picked
with
them
it,
1 seed before the year.